So season 1 of Invincible is now out on Amazon Prime and it's really good, like really good. When I started watching, I wasn't expecting a lot. The trailers made the show seem very run-of-the-mill, and watching the first episode, it seemed like it was going to be basic. That was until the last 5 minutes of the episode. The show had me after that, and it really helped to clarify that this show is not meant for children, so don't bring your kids. I recently watched The Boys, which is another show on Prime, and I couldn't help but notice some parallels between the shows. The big obvious one being between Homelander and Omni-Man, but I would never say that Invincible is in any way an animated ripoff of The Boys, which a lot of people may think after the first few episodes. But they both just happen to deal with this interesting question of what if superheroes were douchebags? Which is very realistic. If you had power like nobody else, it's really hard not to develop some sort of superiority complex. Moving back to the series, I'll start with the main character Mark Grayson, aka Invincible, or as Alien put it in one episode, Vincible.
I just fought you and I think you're quite vincible.
It's really hard to make a compelling story without a good protagonist, and a good protagonist does not have to be a goody two-shoes. I like it when they're flawed because it makes them feel real. Mark is definitely not a perfect character in the show. We see this in the first episode, that he has good intentions and generally wants to do what he thinks his dad does, which is help people, but he sucks at it. He gets shit on every single time he tries to help people, and this makes Mark discouraged and makes him want to hang up his suit and just be a normal teenager. And that's actually compelling. I'm so glad they don't have Mark do the generic thing, maybe get beaten early in the episode, and then have him get stronger somehow in 20 minutes and beat his opposition. I like that he gets his asshole torn apart every single time he tries, because that's relatability. Mark is definitely a dick sometimes too. Like the time where he let Rick become a cyborg zombie thingy because he was so focused on chasing Amber. That right there is concrete proof that he's not a perfect character. And I like that. Please do more of this in more shows. I love it. You get it, Mark. As for Omni-Man, he's excellently voiced by J.K. Simmons, and he's a really cool character. He's basically invincible, mind the pun, and there's really no one that can fuck with him. So any scene with him and any other characters carries a lot of weight, because you could just one-shot them. This is really good when Debbie was starting to piece together that he killed the Guardians, because those scenes where she's snooping around the house, looking for clues, putting on a timer, there's a lot of tension because here's this force that you can't really do anything about, you can't really stop him. I really love the animation style of the show. It feels very unique and it's really gory, which makes the fights feel more real and more impactful. Like in episode 2 where Mark is finally in his real fight and he gets punched and you can see the blood come out of his mouth and you can hear every single punch. It feels a lot more real. And that's good because you can genuinely feel the stakes and realize that lives are in danger. Some other cool details I liked was the fact that the title card for Invincible appears right when someone is about to say the word, and that it gets bloodier and bloodier each episode, which is also a nod to the fact that the show is getting more violent with each installment. I'm not sure if everyone loved the subplots, but I personally did. It made the show's world feel more fleshed out, with the fact that multiple things can be unraveling at the same time. Particularly, I like the robot subplot, because he was basically trying to smash Monster Girl by cloning his friend Rex, or not really his friend, his colleague, as people would do, that's perfectly normal. I can definitely respect my man's hustle. I really liked how the Guardians reacted when he pulled up to their HQ with a new body and called himself Rudy, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy on? Who is Rudy? Where's Robot? So speaking about the new Guardians, I like the slow progression they have to really become a team. They're likable and I'm really hoping Omni-Man doesn't come back and shit on them too. Going back to Mark, one cool thing I liked about him was that he has this ability to go Super Saiyan. I noticed this twice in the show, the first time being in episode 2 against the Flaxans, where he was stuck in this goo and he was watching one of the aliens on the verge of killing Adam Eve, and he gets really angry, breaks out of the goo, and he beats the shit out of the alien. This happened again in episode 5 when Mark and Titan break into Machine Head's building, and they're getting shit on by the goons he hired to defend himself. And Mark is getting electrocuted, he's watching Titan get shit on too, and he gets really angry and yells, "You guys are fucking dead!" And he has this ability to go to this next level when he's really angry, which is pretty cool. And I like that it doesn't make him so overpowered that he just wins every single fight, because he still gets destroyed by Battle Beast and nearly dies. Episodes 7 and 8, which are the finale episodes, were amazing, and they were just cut above the other episodes. The subway scene near my jaw dropped, but the amount of blood and dead bodies, even from what I had seen before in the show, it was insane. I was not ready for that much blood and carnage. Although the show didn't hit every single emotional beat, I'm looking at you, Amber. The baseball flashback to when Mark was younger, that had me crying. And don't get me started when Omni-Man flies into space and the camera zooms right into the tears he shed. Talk about complex characters. The finale really was a roller coaster, and I like how it gave us a little bit of a taste of what season 2 will be like. Overall, Invincible is a one-of-a-kind show that blends a coming-of-age story with a good mystery, and it asks some really good questions about what superheroes would really be like. Aside from some frustrating moments like Amber not understanding what a secret identity is, oh Amber, it's a really good show and I hope the future seasons can be just as good. I'm gonna go ahead and give Invincible a Cyberchima thumbs up. I loved it and I hope you loved it too.